The conclusion of the executive session, I would take a motion to go out of executive session by roll call.
Moulton, aye.
Here's aye.
Beal and I. We have on our agenda at 7:50, wow, almost on time, Council on Aging Building Use Policy.
Oh, you're all still here.
Say that?
I said, oh, they're all still here.
Still here.
And awake.
How are we going to tackle this issue?
Back in January of 2013, I had submitted a town hall use policy, and on that policy, I had recommended that the senior center be used as a last resort for folks to use that room. And I did talk with Jennifer about it, and I think Jen had drafted a policy as well at one point in time, and I don't know if it was approved or not.
No.
Okay.
I don't think we've approved anybody's town hall use.
Well, it didn't even get past the COA board yet. So
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why you haven't seen it.
I mean, that's why I expressed my dream, if you had been here earlier tonight, would be to renovate the old town hall into an auditorium community center.
I agree.
If I had my way.
Yes.
If I had my dreams. Take out the offices that were added over the years and make it a community center. But I have a dream. So, where are we going to go with community? Who's using your room, I guess, is the first question.
We have the Women's Club, the Mothers Club, the Daisy Scouts, the Historical Society, the elections, and Celebrate Southampton on home days.
Bunch of hooligans. Do we have a problem with those groups using the building? Who's responsible for, do we have a name? Do you have a name, a contact person?
Yes.
We're not charging them for it.
No.
And there's no, the only private group I hear there is the Brownie Scouts or the Girl Scouts or
Daisies. The Daisy Scouts.
Daisies. The other groups are all public, are town groups. So the only group that's there is the private group is the Scouts.
They're non-profit.
Yeah, well, non-profit, but they're not town-affiliated groups, I should guess. I don't have a problem. Anybody have a problem with them using it as long as we have any kind of...
Well, I have an issue that I've been sharing with the board in terms of, one, adapting a policy, having a standard that we're treating everybody even-handedly across. It seems to be, you know, I don't know, there's no criteria. And so, and in looking into this, particularly with the Daisy group, I had expressed some concern in terms of the little ones in that open environment, because different than the library, they have that community room, which is, you know, protected. They're not in the middle of the library. And here it's a little different. So that I looked at it in terms of a liability issue. But that was the first thing. But I think that if the board adopts a policy and it's in line with notifying also the select board to say this is what we're doing, because we're sort of tenants in that building. We don't own it, and it's different than the library. It's separate. The other council on aging have their own buildings, so they kind of, you know, can dictate, and they don't let them, even if they let organizations in, which they don't a lot of the time, they will have a staff person there. Here we're giving a key, and we're also giving security codes. You know, they're different, but so in any case, that was really what prompted me to think about the Daisy groups in particular, because of the age and also the openness of the space. There isn't a lot of room in there, because once you have those tables, there's a very narrow corridor, and then where the TV and the book cases, and so, and I don't know how many kids come. I don't know if it's 6 or it could be more. I mean, it's a scout.
There's 10.
What are they doing in there that was dangerous?
Well, they have the equipment. The doors are very heavy. They're, you know, it's like a school is designed for children, and the senior center is designed for seniors. And whether they have the height of the sink is different, the doors are heavier. There's no protection there. Everything's out in the open.
Does anybody know whether the community room up at the school is being used these days? Because when we built the school, there was a community room in there.
At the elementary school?
I thought that got turned into
Community
a
room in the
classroom.
elementary school?
Yeah, is it being used? Is it a classroom now?
I wasn't sure there was a community room in the elementary school.
Well, the building was designed with a community room in the back corner.
I'm pretty sure those are classrooms.
Oh, wow.
Designed that way.
I don't think there's a,
It didn't last very long because they put a partition and they made 2 classrooms
So
because
that was-
enrollment like jumped.
Yeah, that's where that was. It was that big
Yeah.
the last,
in the back corner by the gym, those
Yeah.
are classrooms.
Yeah.
just curious.
So anyway, so that's how this whole thing got
I
started.
mean, don't they have leaders with them to tell them, don't
Yes, there's a
don't
standard-
open the drawer and bang your head on it?
There's a standard of 2 adults for any group of Girl Scouts, especially for that age group and that size. There'll be at least 2 leaders with them. When looking for a place, especially for young kids, because daisies are actually going to be age 5 and 6, what they're going to look for is a space that the girls can actually move around in. They actually work more on what's called journeys now, journeys and pedals. So they do some activities where they sit down in a group, they sit down in a circle, they do lots of arts and crafts. They don't do as much running around as you'd actually think. But when the leaders are looking for a space, they're looking for some environment that they can actually work with the girls and control. If the leaders didn't find that the space was safe for the girls, they wouldn't be there. If there was a wider, more open space, they would probably find that over that space more favorable. I know in the past, a lot of times schools aren't an option anymore. A lot of schools in many communities actually charge rental fees. So any place, a community that you can actually use a space and have the fee waived is very beneficial. It's a nonprofit group. The one thing you might want to look with partnering with the Daisy Troop is see if they can partnership with you in some of your programs. Sometimes they can do volunteer projects, they can do flowers for the seniors, they can do handcrafts for the seniors. It's a great project where they can give back. They're giving back to the Council on Aging project. The girls are getting something out of it, and they're finding a way to almost pay for the space they're using. They're seeing a way everything goes around in a circle. But generally, the leaders are very good. The girls are very responsible for what they have. If there's anything the girls aren't leaving the place better than what they find it, let the leaders know. That's what they're supposed to be teaching the girls. They're supposed to be respectful of everything around them, including the space. I have the utmost confidence that they're going to be safe in that area.
All right, but the question would become, any future groups should come, we should know. I think that's what we're looking for, is we don't...
I think a policy, a policy is the right direction to move in.
Yeah, but I think if anybody, before the policy gets adopted, if anybody new approaches you to use the room, we should have a joint meeting with you to decide whether or not it's appropriate. Especially, well, I would say especially if it's a non-town group.
Where do the Girl Scouts in town meet? No, because there are Girl Scouts. So.
Right, bought some cookies from them.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Yeah, they were good.
No. I also shared with the board which would eliminate a lot of this. We had a policy like the library, they have a policy and it doesn't even get, if the criteria is met, then the trustees are behind it and so is the
President, why don't you resurrect your building use policy and see if we can't get to it?
Okay, it's in your packets.
Oh, stop. Stop showing off.
Maybe I can ask the library. I didn't get a chance to ask to
Would you
call
like
copy
to see
there.
our draft policy that I did?
I think that would be a good idea.
2012.
I think that would be a good
How come it's
idea.
not getting past the council on
It's in here? It's in this?
What's holding it up?
They decided not to move on it. It was
Well,
on the agenda for many months after, but and then
Are there specific parts of it that they just want?
Well, I
don't
remember
want to talk
somebody
about?
saying that how would we enforce it? That was why they didn't want to pass it. So that we only had people signing the whole harmless agreement. But I did give it to the board again at our February 12th meeting with hopes that they will review it and hopefully get it passed and then get it on to you guys.
So shall we just have one policy in this building?
Oh, yes.
I mean, it makes sense to have
Well,
one and not...
Yeah.
But is it okay for us to kind of have our own in addition? Because there's some specifics like about use of the kitchen,
Well, you could be more,
you
I
know?
included that in ours.
all right, yeah, I
Well,
think,
just to compare it, I mean, because there are some differences. Yeah, you can have that one, that's extra.
well, why don't we take a look at both of them and,
And in the libraries as well?
yeah, next week's agenda is full.
It's not too bad. So you want to put it on there too?
Well, I don't want to put it on next week if it's,
Okay.
I want to make sure we get to it, because we've been putting this kind of stuff off. So pick a week when there's little or nothing, and we'll get to this so it gets done. If we put it on a week where there's a full agenda, then we don't get to it, and it just gets easy to get passed over and over. All right? Anybody? Anything?
I have one thing. The Daisy Scouts offered to have a meet and greet with the seniors, which would be kind of like they would just come in and sing some songs with the seniors, present them with a thank you card, do a couple little activities with them. The board hasn't voted on it yet. I did tell them about it, but we would like your input as to if you think that that would be acceptable.
Can we have it in here so it can be recorded on TV?
I think it's a great idea. I was actually
But
just,
do we have an insurance problem? Has anybody
Well,
checked?
that's the thing. There was the issue of the insurance with kids and seniors in the building at the same time.
Have we resolved that issue?
If you have any
Well-
questions on the Girl Scout, just have them contact council and they can provide you with some liability on their own.
you can't have seniors and kids in the same place at the same time?
Well, what he
Running.
expressed was that, there's somebody using a cane or a walker or something, and there's sudden movement, so that might create an issue.
What are we
Now-
covered is the question.
Right.
Pardon me?
I said the question becomes, I understand that,
Yeah.
that's how the liability
Yeah.
rises, but are we
Right.
covered for it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember.
Can you
I
check?
don't remember him, I'm looking at the emails.
He said he didn't recommend not to do it, but proceed with caution in terms of the exposure, in terms of the possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way that puts us, I don't know.
So,
And it
that-
also depends on how many seniors and
Right.
the kids are around, and where exactly are you having it,
Well,
towards
I mean,
the
that
back
might-
or in the front?
that might be Reggie's idea of bringing it in here and
Why not?
put it on the video raises some interesting, if you could, when do they want to do that?
Probably during the April school vacation.
During the day, or?
During the day, yes.
So why don't you check, I think let's check the insurance, tell our agent what's going to happen,
Okay.
make sure there's no problem. Ask your daisies to check with council
Yeah.
to see that there's insurance there. Talk to the daisies about maybe setting it up in this room, and then you guys don't have to move your stuff around over in
We
there.
really don't have to move anything.
Well, I mean, see what the activity is, and see if you can bring it in here to video. We don't have a movable camera, right? We don't.
It's all in the,
No, but I'm saying we don't have a camera we can pick up and move over there.
I think, I'll have to check with Kathy.
We might score points if we did something on that. Could we, and maybe if we take the camera over there and put it out, you can be in charge of that.
So they're really just saying that they're going to make a presentation, and there's not going to be any interactive...
They're not going to play tag.
Huh?
Well,
They're not going to play tag.
No, I'm saying in terms of when you said meet and greet, right? And sort of bring a card? Is that what you said?
well, I mean, I can't judge exactly what they're going to do. I mean,
Okay.
they're not going to run around like banshees.
No, but why don't you find out, why don't you get a little idea of what they want to do, and then we'll see whether it's worth putting it out on the cameras.
Okay.
You know, if it's something more than, hi, how are you?
Well, no, it's going to be probably like an hour long or something.
I mean, that would be, Reggie's right, it would be good to put it.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of other senior centers do have intergenerational activities.
No, and we want to...
The state promotes us to do that, so
And that would be
it's
fine.
kind of difficult for us to turn people away that want to interact.
We don't want you to turn them away, we just want a better idea of what they're going to do so that we can make sure that it happens in a good way.
Okay.
That's all.
So
We
you
don't-
want me to just forward that to Reggie
Yeah.
and then she can forward it to the insurance?
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. All set?
I'm done.
All right. I make sure, where's my
I
agenda?
think it sounds nice to have the kids in there.
I
forgot who-
the thing for the seniors, because a lot of them don't have grandchildren in the area.
I forgot who I was talking to, but somebody writes cards to the seniors every month.
Yes, to those 80 and over.
So wouldn't it be so nice if we got, I don't know who's going to do it, because I think the art teacher will really get me out if I give her something else to do, but wouldn't it be so nice if the kids at the school made the cards that got mailed out every month? Like, how do we get that to happen? You know what I mean? Like in their spare art time, if they had like some cards and they gave them to somebody and they were from the kids. I don't know, I just think it'd be nice. I don't know how to make that happen, but it seems like a nice idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. We have a meeting on March 4th, the day after Heather starts. 18, I'm going to be away, just so you know, the week of the 6th through the 13th.
So, and I won't be here the week of the 11th either.
I'm talking April.
Oh, okay, I'm talking March, so never mind.
March.
Can you, can you send out a memo to everybody and ask them to let us know the nights they're not going to be here again?
We had no problem. Everything was perfect.
Anybody got anything else?
Did you get the letter from the PQB regarding the...
I got it, and I thought we had talked about that beforehand.
There, no one, we did talk about that?
When I talked about it.
We did, and that's coming, and that information was relayed, and there's other people on the board, more than one, more than me, and so that,
I got a what I would consider a message with an exclamation point after it today to read this.
read that memo?
Huh?
Read that memo?
Yes, with an exclamation point. And I could almost sharpen the point on the spear.
Ooh. Okay,
So,
I'm lost, but I just wanted to make sure I brought it up, and,
Did.
I mean, okay,
it's not on the agenda as far as I'm concerned tonight.
okay.
If I hear nothing else, welcome Heather, and I apologize for calling you Ken Heather because you were hiding behind George.
It's okay.
George's glow was hiding you from me. Anything else?
I just want to say, in May, we're going to have a dedication of the Angel Monument.
We know when in May.
No, it's, pending the weather and...
Yeah,
But
okay.
hopefully the beginning of May.
Okay, that's out there. Anything else? I hit everything?
George is raising his hand.
George, of all the times I ask you for public comment, you don't give us
He
one
raised his
tonight.
hat earlier.
I did?
He did raise his hat earlier.
I would have, the last time you asked for public comment, I would have said something.
I'm sorry.
I didn't think it was appropriate at the time, the place was full and we were busy. But I wanted to talk about the ethics and things that have been going on here for the last month and a half. Without mentioning names, all right? And I find a lot of this quite disturbing. I've been coming here for 3 years, and the last month and a half or two, I've seen some things that didn't look right, didn't even smell right. And ethically, they aren't right. I'm sorry the whole fire aren't here, especially the other two. But some of these things that went on, and are still going on, stink. For lack of any other word I could come up with. And I could go on, but I think you know what I'm talking about anyway.
Well, and for that reason, George, I know you're a plain talker, and so that we know what you're talking about, I think you've got to disclose the subject matter of something, be more specific.
All right.
I won't, whether it's
I'm not getting into any names.
I'm not quite sure sure what
I'm not
you...
getting into any names. I can just, we had a commission to pick the new supervisor of the highway. One of these people, who was the original supervisor, retired, picked somebody, all right, that he knew well, that's from town. And I'm not saying anything against the guy. And for him being on the commission, didn't look right. And it still doesn't look right. Now, he's going to teach this person who doesn't have enough background at a cost of the town $44 an hour. He's not worth $44 an hour as far as I'm concerned. All right, if we really want to get into it.
I don't think that ever happened, though, did it? Because we ran into some stumbling blocks. I don't think that's happened, George.
It hasn't happened.
No, because we ran it...
Well, I wasn't aware of it because, I'm not in the loop.
Well,
I'm still stuck,
we didn't act on it, I guess, is the way to approach that.
all right?
if I'm remembering correctly.
You are, and I would just like to respond by
disclosure.
saying that,
But we did sign the disclosure in the
Stating
end.
that, yeah. Whatever happened afterwards, I don't know, but you did sign the disclosure
sign.
stating that you were going to pay him $44 an hour to be a consultant.
I take that back. I'm not sure where we left it. We didn't take the final step.
Right, right.
I was the chair of that committee, and
I don't care what, I don't care if you're the chair or not. You didn't belong on that committee. No one from this room should have been on the committee, period. Okay?
And I guess-
Now, you may not like my point of view, but it stinks. Okay,
George,
it still thinks, and
I'm going to ask you,
ethically doesn't look good. And then it ends up in our real good local newspaper we have here. And what the hell is going on in Southampton? Tell me.
I guess my response would be that we opened that committee to anybody that wanted to be a part of it,
That's
and
beside the point.
why?
all right.
Okay, wait a minute, let's...
George, I'm going to ask you, you make your point about the ethics, and
Yeah.
I don't want you to get heated, and I know you
No,
do.
I'm sorry,
No.
my temperature's gone up. We brought 3 people in here. Person from Holyoke, all right, with the water department, had an edge on it by miles. We had another young man in here, I forget it, I don't remember the names. He was some kind of an engineer. He still had the edge on the person we have. There's nothing against the person we have in town. I think it's nice that we have somebody from town and we can bring them on. Thank you. You're not going to tell me that you didn't have resumes for people who wanted this job that were well qualified.
I think everybody that we brought in was well qualified.
Oh.
I think we,
No, I don't think so. One knew how to drive a truck. One ran the water department in Holyoke. And the other fella had a couple of years under his belt in engineering. And what do we ended up with the lowest common denominator in this.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly, I disagree. And we're welcome to have
Well,
different
hey.
opinions. We're welcome to have different opinions. That's okay to have. And I get that you're upset about it. I understand, but I guess I just don't agree with you.
What it looks like, ethically. Well, maybe you don't see it from there, but ethically, it didn't look good. It stunk. Period.
All right.
Let's leave it at that,
That's where we'll drop it.
okay?
Thank you, George. Anything further? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Here. Thank you, George.
Oh.